You see the pictures, the pristine slopes, the billion-dollar resorts, the perfect snow-dusted main streets. You imagine that cozy fireplace in a multi-million-dollar mountain home, the ultimate escape, the pinnacle of the American dream. But that dream, the one sold to millions, is collapsing. For the first time in over a decade, the Colorado high country is in a state of total financial freefall. The pandemic-fueled gold rush, the Zoomtown boom that saw coastal elites fighting over log cabins, is over, and the hangover is severe. We are not talking about a correction or a softening, we are talking about a real estate disaster. Today, we're not just showing you the pretty sights, we're taking you on a road trip, a financial investigation, through the 10 mountain towns where the market is cratering the hardest. We'll be counting down from 10 to 1, exposing the crisis as it gets worse and worse. We're talking about price drops that look like typos, luxury homes sitting empty for 400 days, and an insurance crisis that is making properties fundamentally un-ownable. This isn't just about the wealthy. It's about entire communities evaporating. You're going to be shocked when you see which seemingly perfect town has seen its median home price slashed by over 30% in just 6 months. And the number one spot, it's the one everyone believes is untouchable. But the data we uncovered reveals a catastrophic collapse that local brokers are desperate to hide. If you're tired of the everything is fine narrative and want the real story, do us a favor and hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. As we go, comment below, are you seeing this collapse in your area? Our journey into the financial avalanche starts right now. Number 10, Pagosa Springs. We begin our road trip deep in the south near the New Mexico border, pulling into Pagosa Springs. You probably know it for its world-famous hot springs, a place that always felt a bit more relaxed, more old Colorado than the I-70 corridor giants. But that relaxed vibe has turned into a market frozen in fear. Pagosa Springs was a poster child for the short-term rental boom. Investors flocked here, buying up properties to list on Airbnb and VRBO, pricing out locals and betting on infinite tourism. That bet has now failed. The town council, facing a housing crisis, slammed the brakes. They enacted a moratorium and then implemented a strict cap on new short-term rental licenses. The moment they did, the floor fell out of the market. AirDNA, which analyzes rental data, shows that future booking calendars for the area are down a stunning 40%. The guaranteed cash flow that investors were promised is simply gone. Now look at the listings. The Archuella County Association of Realtors reports that inventory for homes over $1 million is up 95% year over year. These are the exact homes investors bought, and they are sitting. Zillow data shows the average days on market for Pagosa Springs has ballooned to 130 days, more than triple what it was just 2 years ago. The panic is evident. Redfin's latest statistics show that 1 in 3 listings in the area has had a price cut in the last 30 days. But the real disaster is the gap. The Colorado Department of Labor states the median income in Archuella County can only support a home price of around $350,000. The median listing price, even with the cuts, is still stubbornly sitting over $700,000. There are no investors, and the locals simply cannot afford to buy. This is a market with no buyers, and the only way out is down. It's a chilling start. Let us know in the comments if you think the short-term rental crackdown was the right move, even if it caused this crash. Number 9, Durango. From Pagosa Springs, we drive west on Highway 160, heading to the historic railroad town of Durango. This isn't just a ski town. It's a real city with a college and a year-round economy. But that diversified economy is precisely why the crash here is so alarming. It shows the rot isn't just about tourism. Durango's crisis is one of pure, unfiltered unaffordability finally hitting a brick wall. The market has been locked up by high interest rates. The Durango Area Association of Realtors published a devastating report last month. Total home sales volume has plummeted by 52% compared to the same period 2 years ago. Not prices, but the actual number of transactions. The market is frozen. Why? Because sellers are trapped. They are clinging to their 2.5% or 3% mortgage rates, refusing to sell. This has kept inventory artificially low, even though demand is gone. But the cracks are showing. While sellers won't list, builders must. Data from the La Plata County Planning Department shows a backlog of newly built luxury townhomes and condos with zero pre-sales. This is where the free fall begins. These builders are offering massive incentives. We're talking $50,000 in closing costs or free rate buy-downs. That's a price drop hidden in plain sight. Meanwhile, the local economy is sputtering. The U.S. Census Bureau notes that, for the first time in 30 years, Durango's population growth has flatlined. Young people and families are leaving. A report from the local economic forum, Align Durango, stated that the average rent for a two-bedroom apartment now requires an annual income of $90,000, while the median household income is just $72,000. The town is literally unaffordable for the people who live there, and the high interest rates mean wealthy cash buyers are no longer swooping in. It's a stalemate where the sellers have to blink first, and they are starting to. It's a strange disaster, one without panicked selling, yet it's just a market that has died. What's worse, a panic or a freeze? Tell me your thoughts below. Number 8. Silverthorne. Now we head north, up the I-70 corridor to Silverthorne. You've seen this town, the massive outlet mall you pass on the way to Keystone. This was pitched as the affordable alternative, but look at the half-finished condo complexes. Silverthorne is ground zero for a catastrophic oversupply. The problem is inventory. Developers, fueled by pandemic-era cheap money, went completely insane. The Summit County Association of Realtors just released a report showing that new construction inventory in the Silverthorne area is up a staggering 145% year over year. They simply cannot find buyers for these new units. Zillow's latest data shows the average listing in Silverthorne now sits for an agonizing 128 days, triple what it was 2 years ago. Buyers have all the power. Redfin confirms this, noting over 45% of all active listings have undergone major price cuts, often in $50,000 chunks. The real killer? The town council pulled the rug out from under investors with new short-term rental restrictions. AirDNA analytics show future bookings in non-exempt zones are down by half. The investor cash flow is gone. This creates a terrifying valley of death. The Colorado Department of Labor states the median income supports a $400,000 mortgage, but the median home price is still $900,000. So you have homes no local can afford and investors no longer want. The result is a ghost town in the making. The U.S. Census Bureau's latest estimates show a population decrease for the first time in 2 decades. The people left holding the bags are developers and recent buyers trapped in negative equity. Silverthorne is a perfect storm of overbuilding, evaporating demand, and panicked policy. It's a rush scene. As we drive on, let me know, is this just a Silverthorne problem, or is the entire mountain market a house of cards? Number 7. Crested Butte. We're leaving the interstate, heading south on a long, beautiful drive to one of the most isolated and iconic towns in Colorado, Crested Butte. This isn't a town, it's a postcard. It's protected, historic, and incredibly beautiful. It's also in a state of total denial. The free fall in Crested Butte is harder to see, but it's far more severe. This is an ultra-luxury market that has completely seized up. For years, this was the anti-veil. It was authentic, but that authenticity attracted billionaires and the median home price soared to over $2 million. Now those same homes are sitting and sitting. The Crested Butte Gunnison Association of Realtors data is terrifying. The total dollar volume of sales has collapsed by 60%. The number of sales over $3 million has fallen by 80%. The high-end buyers are gone. You can see it on Zillow. The average days on market for a home in Crested Butte has exploded to 210 days. That is not a typo. We're talking 6 to 7 months minimum to sell a property. And the price cuts are just beginning. Local brokers are trying to hide it, but Redfin data shows a price cut to new listing ratio of nearly 50%. Half of the homes for sale are reducing their price. But the real canary in the coal mine is the local economy. The town is in a full-blown war over short-term rentals, with a 2-year moratorium freezing the market. Even worse is the insurance. Because of its remote location and wildfire risk, insurance premiums are skyrocketing. We spoke to one local broker who said a $4 million home just got an annual insurance quote of $70,000. That's nearly $6,000 a month just for insurance. This market was built on the greater fool theory, and they finally ran out of fools. The billionaires are holding their properties, but anyone who needs to sell is facing a catastrophic loss. Crested Butte proves that authenticity is just another brand, and right now that brand is toxic. We're heading back to the main corridor, and the data just gets darker. Number 6, Steamboat Springs. Our journey takes us north, way north, to Steamboat Springs, Ski Town, USA. This is a town that always prided itself on being different. It's a real ranching community, a place with a high school football team and a rodeo. But in the last 5 years, it sold its soul to the luxury market. Now, it's paying the price. The FREEFALL in Steamboat Springs is a story of a local economy that has completely broken. The median home price here doubled between 2019 and 2023. But according to the Yampa Valley Economic Development Council, wages in that same period only went up 8%. This disconnect has created a full-blown exodus. The Steamboat Springs School District reported an enrollment drop of 10% last year. The schools are emptying out. The local hospital, UC Health Yampa Valley Medical Center, declared a staffing crisis because they literally cannot find workers who can afford to live in the town. This is what happens when a community hollows itself out, and the real estate market is now reflecting this reality. The Steamboat Springs Board of Realtors reported that sales volume for single-family homes is down 40%, but the real story is the condo market. Steamboat Springs is flooded with high-fee, aging condos from the 1980s, and the new short-term rental tax, one of the highest in the nation, has made them completely undesirable. Inventory of condos is up over 120%, and a report from a local appraisal firm shows that prices on these units are down on average 25% from their peak. We're talking about units bought for $900,000 2 years ago that are now struggling to get offers at $650,000. This is a bifurcated disaster. You have the multi-million-dollar ranch homes sitting unsold, and you have the affordable condos in a race to the bottom. The entire middle of the market is gone because the middle class is gone. Steamboat Springs isn't Ski Town, USA anymore. It's a warning sign of what happens when a town forgets who it's for. Think this is bad? Wait until you see where we're going next. Number 5, Breckenridge. You knew this one was coming. We're driving back to Summit County, to the king of mountain tourism, Breckenridge. This historic mining town with its charming Main Street and world-class resort welcomes over 3 million visitors a year. It is also a town teetering on the brink of a financial calamity. Breckenridge is suffering from a crisis of its own creation. It became too expensive, too crowded, and too regulated. Now the wave that lifted it so high is crashing down. Let's start with the regulations. The Breckenridge Town Council, in a desperate move to solve the housing crisis they helped create, passed one of the strictest anti-short-term rental ordinances in the country. The Summit County Association of Realtors was blunt in their response, stating that this policy instantly vaporized 30% of the town's property values. AirDNA data confirms the carnage. Revenue for short-term rental operators in the newly restricted zones is down 70%. This has triggered a wave of panic selling from over-leveraged investors. And who is buying? Nobody. Zillow data shows inventory in Breckenridge is up 90% year over year. These are not phantom listings, they are real, empty homes. We found one report from a local title company, Land Title Guarantee Company, that showed total transactions in Breckenridge have fallen for 6 straight quarters. This is not a dip, it's a depression. But the most shocking statistic is the commercial free fall. The Breckenridge Main Street Business Alliance reported that there are currently 45 empty storefronts on and around Main Street. That is the highest vacancy rate in town history. The tourists are still coming, but they are spending less. The day trippers have replaced the multi-week renters. The median home price is still absurdly over $1.5 million, but this is a fantasy. Zillow data shows the average sale-to-list price ratio has fallen to 92%. That means homes are, on average, selling for 8% less than their already reduced asking price. Breckenridge is a theme park in winter and a ghost town in the off-season, and the real estate market is finally reflecting that. It's amazing to see, isn't it? The sheer denial. We're heading into the true luxury zone now, where the numbers get even more insane.
Number 4. Telluride. To get here, you have to want it. We're in a southwestern box canyon so beautiful it feels unreal. This is Telluride, an insulated, exclusive town where billionaires pretend to be ski bums. But its real estate market is collapsing in on itself. The free fall here isn't about condos, it's about the ultra-luxury buyer disappearing. The Telluride Association of Realtors just released data that should terrify every owner. The number of sales over $5 million is down 85%. The California tech money and Texas oil money that fueled the boom have dried up. What's left is a private club no one wants to join. The average days on market for a home in Telluride is now approaching 300 days. We're talking almost a full year to sell a property, and the inventory is piling up. The inventory of homes priced between $5 and $10 million is up 150%. But the real crisis is the cost of living. A report from the town's own economic council, Visit Telluride, found that a gallon of milk costs $12. The town is literally running out of workers, busing in service staff from towns 2 hours away. The U.S. Census Bureau data is shocking. The median age in Telluride has jumped by 6 years in the last decade. It is a town of aging, part-time residents. And now, the insurance companies are fleeing. Due to the extreme wildfire risk in that box canyon, insurers like State Farm and Allstate have issued moratoriums on new policies. You cannot get a mortgage on a home you cannot insure. Telluride is a beautiful, perfect museum, and the exhibits are starting to panic. Anyone who bought in the last 3 years is now underwater and trapped. We're heading back east. The final 3 towns on our list are the ones that define the entire Colorado dream, and they are in the most trouble of all.
Number 3. Edwards. You might be asking, where? And that's the point. We're in the Vail Valley, but we're not in Vail. We're in Edwards, the sprawling, unincorporated town where the real people live. This is where the teachers, the firefighters, and the hotel managers for Vail and Beaver Creek reside. And this community is in a state of total collapse. Edwards represents the death of the local. For decades, Edwards was the pressure release valve for Vail's insanity. But during the pandemic, the wealthy buyers didn't just buy in Vail, they bought everything. They bought the homes in Edwards, pricing out the entire workforce. Now, the service economy that powers the $100 billion resort industry is breaking. The Eagle County Classifieds, the local job board, has over 3,000 open positions. Not because the economy is booming, but because there is literally no one to work them. The local school district, Eagle County Schools, reported they are short 70 teachers because their applicants cannot find housing. This has triggered a real estate disaster in reverse. The properties are still expensive, but the community is gone. The local economic council, the Vail Valley Partnership, reported that consumer spending in Edwards is down 20%. The restaurants, the grocery stores, the local shops, they're empty. The real estate data from the Vail Board of Realtors shows a hollowing out. Sales of homes under $1 million, the locals market, are down 60% because that market no longer exists. Meanwhile, those multi-million-dollar homes in the new exclusive Edwards developments are sitting empty. Zillow data shows the inventory of homes over $2 million in Edwards is up over 100%. It's a zombie town. The wealthy owners are there 3 weeks a year, and the workforce is commuting 2 hours from towns you've never heard of. This is a social freefall that is now becoming a financial one. When the service in the $5,000 a night hotels disappears, the rich will stop coming, and the entire house of cards will fall. Edwards is the canary in the coal mine for the entire resort industry. It's a town that has already died, but the market hasn't admitted it yet. It's profoundly sad, but what's happening just up the road is even shocking.
Number 2. Vail. This is it. The legend, the name synonymous with world-class skiing. We're pulling into Vail, a town invented to be a perfect alpine paradise. For 50 years, it was the safest real estate bet on Earth. Not anymore. Vail is in a free fall of its own elite design. The disaster here is a combination of aging inventory, astronomical holding costs, and a new generation of wealthy buyers who simply think Vail is old. Let's talk about holding costs. The average monthly HOA fee in Vail Village is now over $2,000. That is $24,000 a year before your mortgage, taxes, or club membership. The Vail Board of Realtors data is staggering. The total number of transactions in Vail Village has plummeted by 70% from its peak. The buyers are gone. Why? Because you can take that same $5 million and buy something brand new in Jackson Hole or Big Sky. Vail's inventory, according to local appraisers, is the oldest of any major resort. The average condo was built in 1984. Buyers are looking at $500,000 renovation bills on top of their purchase price. The result is a market of panicked sellers. Redfin data shows the median days on market for a property in Vail is 180 days, 6 months. And the price cuts are massive. The local multiple listing service, the MLS, shows the average price drop on a listing is now 12%. On a $5 million condo, that is a $600,000 haircut. But the real shock? The town itself is in a debt crisis. The town of Vail's budget is facing a $20 million shortfall as sales tax revenue has cratered. The U.S. Census Bureau data shows a population in decline. Vail isn't just in a real estate disaster, it's in an identity crisis. It's a relic, and the market is treating it as such. It's hard to believe, but this isn't the worst. There is one town where the collapse is more profound, more symbolic, and more disastrous than anywhere else.
Number 1. Aspen. We had to end here. We've driven over the pass into the Roaring Fork Valley to the one, the only Aspen. This isn't just a town, it's a global brand. It's where billionaires go to hide. It's the 1% of the 1%. And it is, without question, the number 1 most disastrous real estate market in Colorado. Because Aspen is in total free fall. For decades, the motto here was, the price never goes down. That motto is now a joke. The pandemic created a bubble so absurd, so detached from reality, that its implosion is shaking the entire global luxury market. The Aspen Glenwood MLS data is catastrophic. The median sales price for a single-family home in Aspen has fallen by 32% from its peak. Let me say that again. A 32% drop. Homes that were valued at $40 million are now selling for $28 million. The paper wealth that has been lost is in the billions. The number of total sales is down over 65%. The buyers have vanished. Why? The Aspen premium is no longer worth it. The private jets are flying to different airports. The remote work tech CEOs are being called back to the office. The free money era that funded this fantasy is over.
And the inventory is terrifying. The number of active listings in Aspen is up 210%. The market is flooded with sellers, all trying to get out at the same time. Zillow data shows the average days on market is now 275 days. That is not a market, it's a museum. But the most shocking statistic of all comes from the Pitkin County assessor. Due to the collapse in transactions, the commercial tax base of the town has evaporated. The luxury retail stores, the art galleries, their sales are down 50%. The town itself is a hollowed-out shell. The U.S. Census Bureau confirms that over 60% of all homes in Aspen are vacant for more than 10 months of the year. Aspen is the epicenter of the great wealth transfer in reverse. It's a town built on a fantasy, and the fantasy is over. The free fall here is the most severe because the prices were the most insane. It is, unequivocally, the worst real estate disaster in Colorado.
Our road trip is over. From the investor panic in Pagosa Springs to the developer glut in Silverthorne, from the hollowing out of Edwards to the catastrophic billionaire bubble bursting in Aspen, the story is the same. The Colorado mountain dream, fueled by cheap money and a pandemic, has become a financial nightmare. These markets are not correcting. They are in a free fall, and the data proves it. This is a warning to buyers and a terrifying reality for anyone who bought at the peak. The avalanche has begun, and no one knows where it will stop. If you found this investigation valuable, please hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more deep dives. And comment below, which town on this list shocked you the most? And where should we investigate next? Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there.